All right. Hey, everybody. Excited for this AMA today. Heidi won't be here today. It'll be me, but we also do have a guest joining us today, hands out from Moku GG. So we're super excited to welcome them today. And then it's a huge AMA, obviously. We have a lot to go over today. We had probably the biggest release in Pixels history this week. We migrated to the Ronin network. We released Carnivals. We released Pets. We released Barry onto Ronin. And there's just been so much going on. So we're super excited with how things have been going. The love from the Ronin community has been amazing to see. And yeah, we feel so lucky to be on Ronin. It just feels like 100% the right choice. And the overlap in the product community fit has been awesome too. So today in this AMA, what we'll do is we'll go over all your questions that you might have about pets, the carnival, and what plans we have in the future. But first, we'll probably take some time to welcome in Hantao and go over Moku today. So if you guys haven't looked at what Moku is yet, we're running some really cool events with them over the next week. And yeah, I will bring up Hanto right now and we can kind of go over some of this stuff. So thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you coming on. Oh, I can't hear you. Not sure if that's me.
Oh, my bad.
There we go.
I had it muted. What's up, Luke? How's it going? Appreciate you inviting me. I've been deep in collecting tickets every day. I'm a little bit sad that my Grumpkins died on the first day because I didn't know you had to water them twice.
Yeah, that's one of those more annoying crops that we have, to be completely honest. But the dedicated players are doing quite well with them still. And yeah, it's cool. There's a ton of people in Pixels right now watching this AMA. I'm not sure if you've joined any of our AMAs before, but yeah, look how many people are in the theater right now. Basically just watching this AMA with us live.
Nice. Wait, you can see it? I actually never entered the theater in yet because I've just been busy redeeming tickets. I've been getting slapped on the wrist for clicking too fast.
Oh yeah. No, it's like hundreds of people normally join us in these AMAs and like literally sit in the theater seats. They're sometimes even more organized. You'll see like people in the back rows just hanging out very, very neatly. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's really cool.
But yeah,
I'm watching. Let me join them. Hold on, I'm joining them. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
no worries. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we start off just going over what Moku is today, and kind of explain to you like all the users here, like how they can participate and like what exactly is in it for them.
Yeah, for sure. So Moku is a platform to utilize your community and really get the most value from them and also provide value back to your community. Because I think the biggest problem right now, even in Web 2, is like attention is really scattered and it's really hard for people to focus on one thing. Like if they follow a brand, they typically follow multiple. If they follow a creator, they follow hundreds of creators. And it's like, how do you really concentrate your community and get them to do cool actions that are meaningful for you and also provide them value back? So Moku is actually live right now. And if you go to explore.moku.gg, there's a lot of different pixel quests that you can do and you get these points. And once you get the points, you can actually roll the gacha. So for the quests, we have some carnival games, we have verify your land on ETH, we also have some social quests. So a bunch of different activities. And then we'll be adding in daily, praying to Luke soon,
Team is
where
working on
you can go on to Moku every day. And whenever you play these carnival games, you'll actually get points. And in the gacha, we have a Mystic Axie, which I think is worth like $7,000. Genesis Pets, which already has a crazy floor right now. I want to buy one, but the floor is kind of high. Farmland, which is on ETH. We had 500 Axies and also 1,500 Ron in this gacha, and you can roll for it. And every roll is technically a winner because you also get a raffle ticket, and that raffle ticket allows you to have a chance to win a Genesis pet as well.
Yeah, really awesome prizes. And then yeah, also 8 farmland still giving away. I think we were giving 10 out through Moku as well too.
Yeah.
So yeah, tons and tons of prizes. Probably one of the bigger prize pools that we've done at Pixels. So super exciting. So if you guys haven't checked out Moku, go and check it out as soon as you can.
So I have 2 questions for you, Luke.
Mhm.
Number 1, can we add the tractor in here?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, so if you guys haven't followed Pixels, last year we did this really funny giveaway One of the things that we've been pretty good at is like guerrilla marketing, and we've given away things like pitchforks. We gave away a tractor. We've given away like real fertilizer, I think, too. But yeah, that's some of the stuff we want to bring back. I think Web3, it's really important to have fun through all of this. And yeah, this is the kind of stuff that just grabs attention a bit more too. So we gave away a tractor before. Maybe we bring it back. We used to joke if we hit like over a certain amount of DAU, maybe we would finally give out a Lamborghini tractor. Lamborghini actually makes
Oh,
tractors.
really? I
Yeah,
didn't know that. Wait, how much is that?
they're not as bad as you would think. It's like maybe like 100 grand, I think. But for a whole functioning tractor and for a Lamborghini, could be worth it.
I read some of the comments in the original one. It was like, I don't have a lawn, but I want this.
Yeah, so we gave the winner of the previous tractor the option of the value in ETH or the actual tractor, and they took the tractor.
Oh, really?
It
Well,
worked out well, yeah.
we need like the 1 year after. Like, where's the tractor now?
No, it should come back. It should come back. But yeah, that's the whole point of all of this, guys. We just want to have fun while we're playing at Web3 games. Moku is very aligned in that vision too. And yeah, if you guys have any questions for the Moku team while they're here, you guys should definitely ask them. I think I saw some mixed in with all of the memes. Here, I'll pull out some of them. I think I saw a couple.
And we actually have a special code as well.
Yes, there
To
is a
give
code.
away.
A lot of people were asking about the code. What
Yes.
exactly is this code, and what's this code for?
This code, so we have different functionalities on Moku for social media, for Discord. We also did a bunch of lore stuff. So we love to also add some lore things. What's up, Steph? Once we get deeper into it, but this code, it gets you more points on the platform so you can get additional roles. And then obviously we have the gameplay ones as well. So I'm not going to give the code yet. Luke, you can tell me when you want to give the code. I'm only going to tell a clue for it. I'm not going to give the answer.
Ooh, I do like that. Here, let's pull up some more questions now. Somebody asked about the chances of the Mystic Axie. I know from the stuff that we do. Do you guys have like odds posted or something like that? Or yeah, it sounds like people really want that prize.
Yeah, so the odds are not posted, but I can tell you that it's 9% chance to win a prize. That's not a raffle ticket. Sometimes it varies percentages depending on like special campaigns and if there's additional things. But how it works is like every time you roll the gacha, all the percentages of the different prizes will roll in that instance. So it doesn't matter like how many prizes are left. It'll just every time you roll, you'll have a chance to win the Mystic.
Kerr Avon asked if there's new Moku quests every day. I know on our end, we're the blocker on that. So we're trying to make some of these quests daily. Like for example, entering the Carnival daily, playing some of the Carnival quest daily. That might be able to happen. I think we have a solution for that. Team is working on that. Might get in the next day or two. We'll keep in contact with the Moku team. Then otherwise, like Moku does stuff outside of Pixels too, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's the Pixels takeover, so we want the majority of the attention to be focused on Pixels and to celebrate you guys coming to Ronin, right? So one thing we actually have going on right now, we're giving away 3 Origins, 3 Pixel Pets, and 3 Genkai as well, who also migrated before Pixels. So we're doing this for the Pixels Creator Content Contest. So all you have to do is make a short form video under a minute, long form video over a minute, or a Twitter thread to talk about why Pixels coming to Ronin is like so amazing for our ecosystem. And winners will get those prizes. So you can submit those links right on Moku, and we'll verify the winners after this campaign's done.
When Moku quest for those that finished the why not quest chain. Yeah, the why not quest chain is like one of the really hard ones to complete in Pixels.
Yeah, so when I was starting out on Pixels and I played the tutorial, I got the seed, and then I planted it on my own land, and then I couldn't do the tutorial, so I had to restart. So I was like doing all these cool quests, and like not all of them are super intuitive, but I do like that a little bit because if you make it too easy to play the game, it's very boring, right?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have used community as not a crutch, but our community has definitely stepped in and kind of filled in that gap too. Like we like to ship and release really quickly, and sometimes it means polish isn't the first priority, even though we get to it eventually. But then our community's kind of stepped in and made so many video guides, so many like onboarding tutorials where it's in the good enough phase right now. But yeah, that's one of our focuses too, and especially when we're working with a platform like you, that's something on the top of our mind where we like know that we have some gaps in terms of onboarding and all of that. And when we work with a partner like Moku, that's something we need to like clean up in the like long run. But we're working on that.
Yeah,
And in chapter 2, we'll have some changes as well. Um,
yeah.
yeah, curious. So for our community, do you want to give some context into like kind of the origins of Moku and because I know a lot of the Axie community knows Moku pretty well, especially from like previous integrations with Ronin and Genkai.
Yeah.
But I think our community would be interested in like some of that background as well.
Yeah, so we actually started as a Axie guild, and we were huge into competitive Axie. We dominated. The only competition was really like Meditate and YGG, I would say back then. And then we moved to Quest, where this is when like DPoS was launching, and we got our governing validator. So, and we also started running the Ronin creator program. So we actually started with helping out the creators in Ronin and doing a lot of go-to-market campaigns, running a bunch of the activations, tournaments. We're still running them. So if you do make content, like hit me up and let's make something happen. We can do Pixels content, we can do Axie content, whatever you want. We're pretty open and we'll sponsor that as well. And then we came to Moku because we were like, one of our other tech leads, he was looking around when he was building his game for a tool of like, how do I get everybody's attention to come back daily to play the game and really harness the community aspect? And he was like, oh, wait, all the tools that exist aren't that good. So I have to make my own to what I need. And that's how it was born.
Yeah, I think that whole rabbit hole, I think, is something that people really, really undersell when it comes to the Ronin and Axie community. Like how much community infrastructure has been built and how much of this has been built, because this actually doesn't really exist in other ecosystems. This takes kind of a mature community and ecosystem to actually have all of this infrastructure. Like you guys who came from like literally playing inside of the game to making a guild to like literally full on company and like growth tech. We've seen like the beginning stages of that in Pixels, where we have like people making like external tooling and infrastructure. We see some guilds kind of forming, but yeah, I feel like Axie and Ronin are just like so developed in terms of that. It's really, really cool to see that.
Yeah, because I think the most important thing is like community, right? And when we looked at all of the different games, like there's so many games in Web3 that have raised capital or have been built. And then there's also even like there's so many games on Ronin. And then when users are playing, it's like they only have 24 hours in a day. And they're like, oh, which game should I play next? And we want to help you discover like all the different games on Ronin and all the different games in the Axie ecosystem. And we've done that already. And people have like, oh, I've never played Axie Doll. And so people are like, oh, how do I do this Pixels quest? Right? They're like 3 hours into Pixels. They're like, how do I get woodworking so I can build a crate for more storage because I have so much stuff in my inventory?
Yeah, and I think it's kind of an encouraging thing to like people in the Pixels community too, where it's like, people who were early in the Axie community, who are building those tools and infrastructures. I've seen like more than one of these types of like companies form just from the Axie community. I think that's the most fascinating thing.
Yeah, like we actually get a lot of quest ideas from the community. So they're like, hey, can you add this verification? Can you add this quest so I can go do that? Because I've already been doing it for the last couple of days. They want like a bunch of farming quests, a bunch of like items So the community is really providing a lot of value back to us in helping us like decide where to go with the product.
Amazing. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Moku yet, again, go to explore.moku.gg. That's the URL. It'd be
Yeah.
silly not to actually just go on Moku if you already are playing Pixels, because it's literally just more chances for pets, more chances for land. You'll probably have all the tasks completed already. So yeah, make sure you check it out.
Okay. So here's a special code. All right. So if you go on Mocha right now, we have an AMA session and you enter in the special code there. However, to get the special code, you actually have to know the number one pixel's name, pixel pet's name. Do you know what it is, Luke? Don't say it, but do you know what it is?
Wait, I'm actually not sure.
Like pixel pet number one
I
on the
think
Mavis
I know.
market.
I think I know.
That's the hint. So I think that's a pretty easy hint, but everything's on chain. So
All right, there you guys have it. Secret code. And if you didn't hear that, if you didn't catch that, maybe rewind a little bit. But yeah, secret code on Moku, go put that in ASAP. If anybody has any other questions for the Moku team while we have them, ask them now. Because we'll start to talk about some of the other stuff at Pixels today too. Some of the stuff I want to go over later is around like Barry talking about Pixel token coming up as well too. We'll get into the meat and bones, and then yeah, also if you guys are interested too, I'll be hopping on an AMA with Moku on Friday as well.
yeah. So Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, we're going to be talking about Ronin, welcoming Pixels to our community, and just kind of talking about like, you know, what everybody's been up to, what the future goals are. So Luke, I do need some alpha from you before I drop, but which shop do I redeem tickets at? Which one's the best one?
Yeah, so each shop is a bit different. I think one of the ones that's getting slept on is that apiary shop. Apiaries in the game are a really rare industry, and I think there's like 60 of them available. So you might have a better chance because everybody's going for the pets to get
Mm,
an apiary, or there's the wineries too, and the wineries are quite rare. I think this is the only time that we've actually released them. So basically, there's 3 different trailers. Which trailer that you go to might give you different rewards. A lot of people are going for the pets, and we've seen strong interest in the pets. I think one just sold on Mavis Marketplace for 2,600 RON, which is like 1,300 US dollars. It's pretty crazy to see that.
okay. Whoever's listening, don't rewind that, cancel it. Don't listen to Luke. I'm gonna go to that trailer and redeem my tickets. Don't go there. That was an alpha. I appreciate it, Luke.
Okay, sweet. Well, yeah, I don't think I see many more questions for the Moku team, but yeah, I think we'll move on to the next parts of the AMA. Really appreciate you joining in. I'll hop on to your guys' Twitter space on Friday. We'll talk more about Moku stuff.
Cool. Appreciate it. I gotta go back to farming my grumps.
Sweet. Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, guys. So yeah, just me on this AMA today. So I gotta do like a couple things at once. But yeah, we'll start answering questions, and I think we'll start to go into some of the details around what we're up to in the future as well. So first of all, I just want to kind of open this up to some questions as well too. If you have any questions around like anything around the carnival, any of that, and then I'll dig into a little bit about one, just like a reminder on like what the berry token is, what our plans for the pixel token are, kind of give an overview of how I feel like things have gone around the pets in the carnival, and then also kind of give a hint towards some future things that we're working on, especially with guilds, bonding curves, all of that kind of stuff. If you're new to Pixels, just joining in from the Ronin community, we do these AMAs every single week. Normally, it's a couple of us on the AMAs. We basically will just kind of give an overview of all the things we're working on. We'll drop some alpha. We'll answer questions, and we'll dig into like basically all of the stuff that you've been wondering and thinking about. The reason why we do this is one, it just builds a stronger sense of community. Two, it it's just a way for us to kind of like get actual feedback on what we're working on as well too. Like these AMAs are two ways. We want to tell you what's going on as much as we want you to tell us what's going on. Like, are you guys liking what we're building? Like, how do you guys think things are going? All of this too. We use this as like a very strong time for basically like user feedback and discovery. So yeah, we'll just start to dig into some of the stuff here. Because I think I saw some questions that are pretty relevant to the things I wanted to talk about, especially when it comes to Barry, when it comes to the pixel token, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to go through and pick some questions. Okay, so Noah Ralston asked, can we expect rebalances during the carnival? For example, a change to the potion rewards, left-right hours of operation, other. Yeah, so if you guys haven't been with us for a while, you notice we make changes a lot, especially the balance and all of that too. We're trying to get better at telegraphing changes we make before we do them, but sometimes we'll make changes quite quickly. Just to dive into the ethos of how we build for all of you who are new, we are a very scrappy and fast building team. We don't build like traditional game studios. How a lot of game studios build is they will make something for like a year to 2 years before releasing it. And then they'll make an update every like 3 months. Maybe they'll do like a little bit of patching here and there. Our approach is instead like we want to release large updates every single month, and we value speed over everything. Basically, we have the strong belief that Web3 gaming is still very much in a spot where you need to experiment and iterate as much as possible to find out what actually will work. And in this instance, in Web3 gaming, sometimes we'll make assumptions that don't always turn out to be completely accurate. And that's just something that you guys have to understand about us. Like it's a trade-off that we're making when it comes to actually finding out what works in Web3. And you guys are kind of along for the journey. So for the carnival, I think we did a decent job of getting out like the right reward structure, of getting out like the right amount of pets, things like that to achieve the goals we want to achieve. But there are certain things we might tweak a little bit. Like for example, our ideal amount of gameplay for you guys is like we've released some events where people grind for days and days and days, playing like 12, 14 hours at the chance of getting rewards. That's not exactly what we want. We don't want to burn players out. We want to make sure that you guys have fun, that you guys actually enjoy this, and we're attracting a group of players that actually want to be having fun playing the game. So for us, we don't want people to play. It's crazy to say this. We don't want people playing 12 hours to try to earn a pet every single day. We don't want you to feel like you have to do that. So for example, the left-right game, it plays every single minute, and players are playing it quite a while. It's a fun game, but we kind of want to make sure that people who aren't playing for 24/7 still have a chance. So there might be some changes and tweaks that we make with that in the long run. Like, for example, maybe we'll cap the tickets that you can earn in the left-right game after a certain point. We're going to leave it on and as is, probably for the next week or so, and then we'll revisit in about a week. For the potion rewards, that was one thing that we maybe got wrong also. So if you guys see, if you guys redeem tickets from the pet counter, you'll see that it gives out jumbo potions. We might make it give out large potions instead. The reason for this is it kind of just basically made some of the ingredients that go into potions, because we gave out the best potions, matter a bit less. So I think the balance in between that is probably giving out large potions through the carnival counter, because we're giving out quite a lot of them. So there's still a need to brew potions for the jumbo potions. Now, if you guys don't know about potions, potions are what go into actually hatching a pet. So if you win a pet NFT, if you look on Mavis Market, you'll see that there are a lot of pet NFTs that are not revealed, because you actually have to reveal the pets in game. It's a whole process. It's a really, really fun process where basically you have to get a growth lab. You have to put it on your own land, and that land can also be a spec. And then you have to fill the growth lab with 30 potions. The better potions that you put into the growth lab, the better the pet stats will be. If you look at some of the revealed pets, like Chivulion, I'm not sure. Ooh, I don't know if you can see the pets in Mavis or the pet stats in Mavis Marketplace. Oh no, you can, but they look kind of funny. That's oh, don't buy that. But basically, the better potions that you put into the pets, the better the pet stats will be. A lot of people in these early pets want to max out their pet stats. They're using jumbo potions only. But in the future, when we release more pets, and you don't want to put in as stronger potions. You can just do the small potions and still hatch a pet with the same amount. So if you're a bit more resource constrained, you won't have to do that. But yeah, giving out jumbo potions in this Carnival setup has kind of led to a bit too many potions in the market for the pets and kind of giving people less of a reason to brew these potions, which has downturn effects. So there's things like this when we release things where we might tweak them. And I just want to emphasize again, whenever we make a balance change, it's really just with the intention of making gameplay feel better, making all the things that you do in the game feel like it's worth it. There's never really malice behind it. And just know also, um, it's not even with monetization in mind. When we make game balance changes, it's really just to think about, okay, how are we making sure that the most people possible have as fun of an experience? Because that needs to be the base behind anything that we do with building out this game. Okay, I'm gonna go through a few more questions. Oh, there's some good ones. Okay, people are asking about pets and what the public mints will start to look like. People are asking about what we might do with axes. Um, Pixels Hans pointed out that there's been a huge bump in Ronin network activity, so we're really excited to see that and very happy to be a part of that. I am so incredibly bullish on the Ronin ecosystem. We're like one of the first games outside the Axie ecosystem launch, but there's going to be more coming, and I know the level of talent coming to this ecosystem is huge. Um, we moved here from Polygon, and I just cannot emphasize how much this was the right choice. How excited I am about the future of the Ronin ecosystem, and I can't spill their tea, but I just know a lot more is coming there. Oh my God, so many questions. Oh, somebody asked when we'll see Axie Doll sidekicks in Pixels, or if we will. I'd maybe just spilled it by saying when there. But yeah, we love the Ronin ecosystem, and we want to be a part of the Ronin ecosystem. So basically, any project that's on Ronin, we are trying to work with as much as possible. I know another collection maybe even leaked some stuff today too. One of the other prominent Ronin collections, and maybe that's all the alpha I'll give there. But yeah, basically everyone in the ecosystem, like the whole point of Web3 gaming and like the reason why we want to move to a gaming chain and ecosystem is because we wanted actual games to work with. There just really weren't many other games that were live in the previous ecosystem that we were in, and not that many projects to actually work with. The ETH ecosystem was interesting because there was a lot of NFT collections that we could actually integrate. But now we want to start to work with more gaming IP and a bit more activated user bases as well too. So yeah, we're very interested in working with Axie Dolls, getting into the ecosystem and game, and we want to work with basically everybody coming into Ronin. Okay, I'm going through and I'm just gonna power through some of these questions. Sorry if it's a bit slower paced than the AMA, if it's just me today. Heidi should be back next week. Oh my, so many questions. Okay, I just starred like 10 questions at least. Okay, perfect. All right, we're gonna go through all these one by one, basically. So what will the public minute pets look like? Cost estimates, cost type. So yeah, if you guys don't know, we have a token that's gonna be coming out soon. Our token economy, and maybe we'll take some time to talk about this, is basically going to be a 2-token ecosystem. It's gonna be similar to the Axie ecosystem if you're familiar with that, where Axie has 2 tokens, right? It has SLP and it has AXS. Our currencies are kind of even more on the extreme on each end. So we have 2 currencies. We have the berry currency, which you might have seen live on Katana. Berry is able to be swapped for Ronin right now if you go to Katana. And yeah, berry is basically our soft currency. We'll be posting some more information on like really writing down and making it very explicit what you can kind of expect berry to be like and what it is like. We've been explicit about it in the past, but now that we have a new audience, we just need to be doing a better job of like really, really making it clear what's the difference between these 2 currencies, how are they generated, all of that. So to be clear, berry is an inflationary currency. It is the main currency in the game, and it is a soft currency. So if you guys aren't familiar with currencies in games, or honestly even like in econ, there's concepts of like soft to hard currency, and it's kind of a spectrum. It kind of deals with like inflation, but really also is kind of intention of the currency as well too. So SLP is a soft currency in the game. It's funny because SLP and berry, they have very similar in-game purposes where they're really supposed to be rewarded quite often through gameplay. They're supposed to be a draw through playing the game. In most Web 2 games, they all have soft currencies. Like I think the easiest game to pull an example from is the game Clash of Clans. So Clash of Clans has a soft currency in the game. It's called coins. And they also have a hard currency in the game called gems. Gems, you actually have to buy with US dollars. US dollars is its own currency. It's a very hard currency, even though it's getting less and less hard. I would say that Bitcoin might be the hardest currency right now, or something like gold. But basically, the idea is when you think about monetary policy, when you think about like how the currency is created, a softer currency tends to be created a bit more leniently. And they're a great thing in the game because in a game, you kind of want to have that fun of earning a currency really quickly on. And then you want to balance it in similar ways too. So our berry currency is earned in the game immediately when you start playing the game. It's balanced with gameplay in mind. So even though it is an ERC20, if you go into Katana and you look at analytics, there's there's liquidity around berry. There's been volume around berry. Berry has a price. The intention of it and how we view it is in-game currency first. So we make decisions around berry when it comes to gameplay and when it comes to game balance, which is different than the pixel token. So again, the ways that we can change how berry is actually created are different levers that we have through in-game play. Things like how much a crop sells to the store in Hazel's shop, things like growth times, things like energy requirements on the crop. But basically, it's not as easy for us to control the supply as it is our secondary token like Pixel will be. So it's really all gameplay oriented. And if we were to do a spectrum of like soft and hard currencies, I would say that like berry is maybe even softer than SLP in a lot of ways for that reason. And then Pixel might be harder of a currency than, Axie Infinity's currency AXS. So our Pixel token, and this is going to tie into pets, is going to be released quite soon. I'm not going to give the official date yet because we're always very aggressive at dates, but we are really feeling like it's the right time to launch the Pixel token. The market just feels right. So basically, we're moving all of our efforts towards the Pixel token launch now. In terms of product, in terms of like actual use of the token, we have enough for it. We feel pretty confident, and we'll be releasing even more after the release of the Pixel token. We'll release roadmap and we'll release like next 6-month plan to all be pretty shortly. But we say in the AMAs, every single AMA basically how it's going to work is, we have 2 really big initiatives right now. We're going to be team focus is shifting to chapter 2. So chapter 2 is this new type of gameplay that we're introducing. Chapter 2 will revolve a lot around guild gameplay. It will also introduce competitive elements into the game of Pixels. Pixels right now is not a competitive game, but Chapter 2 aims to solve that and introduce like basically some kind of economic PvP. It's going to relate to guilds. It's pretty fun. It's all scoped out now. Now the team is getting ready to build it. It'll probably take us like 3 to 4 months to build it. So the launch date will probably be around February of that. But it's also going to have very tight integration of the currency Pixel. What it's going to look like is we're probably going to launch Pixel a bit before the release of Chapter 2, is what I'll say. And then with that, we have a few things that are ready to use the Pixel token now and will be by the time of the release of the Pixel token. The first thing is the mint of pets. So pets is also an inflationary NFT collection. Just so you guys know, we've talked about this a lot, but I want you to be very aware that there will be more pets in this collection than just the Genesis pets. Now, these Genesis pets, the 200 that you guys are working for right now, these will be the only type of this pet available. So if you go into Mavis Market, you'll see that we just released the Dino NFTs. So these will be the only times that you can get Dino NFTs or Dino pet NFTs. These Genesis pets also have better base stats than other pets as well too. So if you look at the stats, like if you do the potions right, like you can max them out to 100 on these Genesis pets in certain combinations. But eventually we'll be minting more types of pets. They won't have as good of stats, but they'll look different. And if you look at the top of this banner right here, you'll see there's different types of pets. We have a pig, we have like a raccoon, birds, alpaca kind of thing, monkeys, pandas. Like there's a lot of cool stuff coming. And these pets will be minted in the Pixel token. So that's one of the first utilities of the Pixel token. We also have other features coming out like realms, like more guild features. Those will also use the Pixel token. And then when Chapter 2 comes, the Pixel token will be integrated very heavily into the gameplay as well. If you guys have played a game like Clash of Clans before, there'll be integration into the game loop with things like speeding up build times, and other premium features that make gameplay a bit more nice, but not pay to win as well too. So basically we have a ton ready for the Pixel token. And the public mint of pets will be something like this. And then another note of the Pixel token too, and we'll just talk about that really quickly, is how it's generated. Pixel token will be generated very, very differently than the berry token. Basically, pixel generation is going to be primarily through the dashboard. We have this rewards page, right? And you guys might have seen it before, and we haven't been using it as much as we want to. But Pixel will basically only be able to be earned through this dashboard. What this allows us to do is be very precise in the amount of Pixel that we distribute every single month. Basically, how the token works is it's going to be a cap supply token, and then we get ecosystem rewards that are vested to our wallet every single month. And that is the max amount of Pixel that we can give out, like possibly even, because we get tokens vested to rewards that we can give out every single month. So it's on-chain vesting. We're using a partner called Magna, most likely to be doing this token vesting. But basically, we can't give out more Pixel than like the amount that's invested into that wallet, even if we wanted to. So there's some cool stuff with that on-chain. But basically, these rewards will be distributed through different things like Quest, and there's a max amount that we can give out every single month. So again, it's very targeted, it's precise, and they'll be given rewards for things like sharing. Like it's really all focused on ecosystem growth. So players who progress through the game and retain very far, share with new users, do things like daily logins. That'll basically be the only way to get the Pixel token. It won't be through in-game play directly, but it'll be through indirect gameplay. It's kind of like Moku if it was just in our own game in order to distribute the token. So yeah, that's a lot of alpha there. Basically, the key points that you can get from that are Berry is a very soft currency. Just be aware of that. It's probably softer than SLP. 2, Pixel is coming. It's going to be a hard currency. And through this distribution method, it'll probably be a harder currency than AXS even. Pixel token will be used for a lot of stuff, including the minting of pets, a couple of other features that we have coming, and for tight integration into Chapter 2 as well. So that's the key points there. I know that probably brought up a dozen other questions. Let's go through the chat now. When can we pet other pets? That's a fun one. Like give them treats and teach them tricks. I actually really like the idea. What I've noticed that I've been wanting to do is I'll see somebody walking around with a pet and I don't know who it's following, and I really want to click on that pet to see whose pet it is. So there's tiny features like that that will start to add as well. Let's see if we had more questions around Pixel. Okay, so airdrop around Pixel. So a year ago to the date, we basically ran a play to airdrop and closed that event a year ago today. And it's crazy because a lot of you found out about us back then. And what I can say is we're actually finally getting ready to do that distribution of the play to airdrop, which is exciting. And then there might be something available for other people also. So I'm just going to subtly hint at that. But yeah, we made a promise to these people a year ago that we were going to give them some airdrop. They haven't had to do anything else to qualify for those since. But just note that this airdrop will be facilitated in a very similar way to how the berry airdrop was facilitated. Basically, you had to do some in-game quests to actually activate it, and it was vested over the course of a couple of months. So you basically had to play and do a couple of quests every single month to actually get the token. What this does is this filters out the airdrop hunters that actually really don't care about the game at all and just want to sell and dump the token. That's not good for anybody who actually cares about the gaming ecosystem. So we'll be implementing that again too. Like if you want to get this airdrop, you'll have to actually participate in the ecosystem a little bit. So that was the airdrop that was closed all that time ago. What I can say subtly is we might do something extra on top of that also. Still working out what that looks like, and we might actually do that with partners too. There might be some fun stuff with that. But yeah, we're basically going to solidify that secondary plan in the next week or so. My whole focus and attention now is shifting to the Pixel token. The market looks good. We got to strike it while it's hot. But yeah, you'll hear more info on that really soon. Basically, facilitation needs to happen quite soon in order to make sure the other stuff happens as well. Any other Pixel questions really quickly? Okay, sweet. So we had some questions about flowers. Will the flowers only be obtainable during the carnival, or are they craftable in the future? What do you guys think we should do with this one? Would you rather have them be obtainable only during the carnival, or would you like to see them craftable? Some of these times, when you guys ask these questions, we like to get your feedback on it. So yeah, if you guys have an opinion, let us know that one. I kind of like the idea of them only being obtainable during the carnival. They look pretty too. Scholar asked, which role are Axies going to play in the Pixels universe? Yeah, so for all of you guys who have seen, we support a lot of different avatars and NFTs in the game. And obviously, Axies are probably the most interesting one to us to actually do a more tight integration with. The only thing that we want to make sure with Axies is I think this is probably the biggest one we could possibly do. We're getting Axies into the game. I kind of want to treat them specially. So we're getting all the art worked out now. But the actual implementation of what we do with them is still up for debate. Again, because Axies are such a special one to integrate, we want to make sure that we do something cool. We want to make sure that it's done right. And we kind of got to work with both teams to make sure that happens. But yeah, we're very, very interested to see what's the potential with that and how we actually want to do that. And again, it might be something a bit different than these typical avatar integrations. When VIP purchase with Ron, team is working on that right now. Hopefully we can get this out next week. So yeah, VIP will be able to be purchased with Ron. I have a feeling that a lot more of you will purchase it if it's on the Ronin chain than having to do what you have to do now, going through ETH or Matic. So yeah, obviously we want to make that very easy for you. And then that's more Ron utility, right? That's pretty cool. Will we see CyberKongs in Pixels? Maybe. Again, we want to work with every single Ronin project. I actually think they might have leaked something already. But yeah, we're trying to work with every Ronin project. And again, for this one too, we're really interested in doing something a bit more above and beyond than just an avatar integration. So there's some maybe plans around that kind of stuff. Yeah, it'd be really fun to do something more than just a normal avatar integration with cybercongs if we did something right. That's kind of the cool thing that we get to do with these Ronin projects, because there's a select few and they all have very strong communities. It gives us the opportunity to do some even more interesting stuff than some of these other integrations. Please talk about the problem with berry deposits when fixed. Yeah, so if you guys have been playing a bit and trying to withdraw and deposit berry, you'll notice that there have been a few bugs. Again, give us some grace. We just migrated chains and we did this in like a month and a half. Give us some credit for how quickly we were able to get onto the Ronin chain, and give the Ronin team some credit too for how quickly they were able to get us on their chain. So we're really the first outside game to release on the Ronin network. And we've done some really unique stuff with them, like getting a collection on Mavis Marketplace, and also getting berry on Katana was kind of a big deal, right? So we have been kind of testing and guinea pigging their tech as well too. So there's like a few things that both of our teams needed to basically figure out with like the RPC and other stuff too. So yeah, you guys had way more traffic than I think any of us were anticipating. We hit some rate limits and stuff like that. So team fixed that. Now we just kind of got to fix some of the other bugs with it too. But if you've been with us for a while, we're pretty good at fixing bugs if you give us a little bit of time. Hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll have some of the deposit issues fixed. When are farms going to be better desired NFT to own? Any plans to benefit farm holders more? So chapter 2 is going to look very different than what chapter 1 looked like, is what I can say. We are going to change up gameplay, especially when it comes to farms a bit, where it's going to make owning a farm a bit better. And we're going to start to think about like tiered land a bit too. So basically, we're going to probably introduce more free-to-play land, but then we're going to make the farmland make more sense too. We really like the idea of resource tiering, and especially when we start to introduce more guild features, it's going to matter a bit more too, where we want tiers of resources available on different types of land. We can make farmland have access to the highest tier of resources. And that's a large plan in chapter 2. So basically, when you are in a guild, like the free-to-play players who don't have farmland, they'll still be able to help out and contribute to like some of the base resources, but they won't have the most rare resources that you'll need and you'll only be able to get from farmland. So that's kind of the general direction that we're going in. When is the second chapter expected to be released? Is it in development? So yeah, we basically kicked off development. We kicked off design about a month ago to figure out like what exactly it looks like. And again, we're taking all the lessons that we learned over the last year to make a much better game that makes even more sense in Web3. And really getting to this chapter 2 design was really only possible from the stuff that we learned in chapter 1. So we're building it now, basically. And that's where the team's focus is going to start to shift. So again, we talked about this in a couple other AMAs. Like what you guys have seen from us, and it's funny because I think we're still going to be releasing a lot, is we release a lot. What we'll probably start to do is I really want to protect our developers' time, and I really want to protect their focus. We're going to narrow in focus on chapter 2 because I do think it's pretty essential to the next parts of what we want to be doing, which is basically like tight integration with the pixel token, more types of competitive gameplay. Like I think this is going to fix some of the issues that we're seeing. And like what we kind of want to start to see is like, one, convince we need tokens out in order to actually hit metrics that we want to be hitting. 2, we want to basically boost retention, which is basically thinking about new types of gameplay that actually engage users a bit more. We want to rebalance some stuff to make things like farmland make more sense, all of this kind of stuff. So design is kind of getting narrowed down now, and we have like high level design. Now we're just basically breaking everything down. Development's starting on that basically tomorrow. We're doing a kickoff internally tomorrow. Will the open pet mint start after Carnival? I think we'll probably start the open pet mint right when Pixel launches. And the plan with the pets mints are we're going to be doing open editions of new types of pets. So basically, we'll only open up pet mints for like 24 to 48 hours of every single type. So like if we do the monkey type, that pet mint will only be open up for 24 hours. You'll be able to mint as many as you want. There might be a cap eventually. But the whole idea is like we don't want to put like pressure on selling out a collection. I think that's a mistake that a lot of people have been doing in this current market right now, where it's like, yeah, it's just kind of silly to like put that unnecessary pressure on you. Like, however many people want is however many people should be minting them. Um, so yeah, we'll start those basically when Pixel launches. Can you explain what pumpkins and ice cream are for? There might be something coming, is what I can say. We might do a tiny mini update either this week or early next week. It's pretty fun. And that's all I'm going to leak for that one. Do the Genesis pets play with Axie in the future? Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ideas there around like what we might be able to do with Axie, right? We want to take advantage of it. I think like both communities are very excited about a potential possibility there. Yeah, we'll look into it and dig into it, right? We have some people complaining about us nerfing the whales. Yeah, so if you guys have been following, we made the whales a bit smaller. um, They were too big, guys. They were just too big. We had to make them small. We had to nerf them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Make whales great again. I don't think Zambina even had a whale. Do you, Zambina? When can we stake land? So it's funny if you guys haven't followed us. I've always kind of been anti-staking, which is kind of funny. I think there's maybe very small use cases where staking makes sense. But I think staking for a while in the NFT space was just basically a way to build utility before any NFT collection actually had utility. I think it was just my hot take is I think staking in general is kind of a cop out mechanic. Same thing with governance, where people do staking and governance because it's easy to implement without actually building any real product. And what we prefer to go down is we want to build actual product and game mechanics instead of these pseudo mechanics. So especially with NFTs, I don't love it. I think there's a certain use case where staking makes sense, where maybe we want people to stake NFT land in order to edit the land. That way you can't edit a land that's on a marketplace and kind of rug people for it. That's a potentially interesting use case. But then when it comes to rewards for staking, again, I just really think that's like not the right way to go about it. But then instead of staking, what um, we like is the idea of kind of going the other direction, where it's like staking exists because, or it was created in a lot of NFT collections to achieve a certain outcome, right? It was to like one, incentivize holding a certain asset, two, to give rewards for people who are. And there's other ways that we can do that without staking. Really thinking about like, is there a way that we can integrate this in gameplay? So we don't like the idea of like passive staking, but we like the idea of, for example, kind of treating land like a battle pass. So what we've done right now is we've given um, landowners the same benefits as VIP for the most part, where you get access to like, yeah, you get access to certain features, like you don't get trade limits, all of that. When we have the pixel token out and you look at this rewards dashboard, one really interesting thing that can do, and we have already in this dashboard, is we can give out certain prize pools to people with certain traits. So, for example, we can give out a prize pool of daily logins just for landowners. So you can have like the one that is available to everybody, and then have like extra chances to earn pixel token through playing if you own land. Like that's the direction we're going with land, basically. Yeah, so again, we will probably set aside like the plan in our tokenomics is like we want to set aside special pools of rewards for different types of users, and one of those users is a landowner. So we can give out more rewards if you play the game if you have land. That's kind of the direction that we're going. Yeah, a bunch of questions around that. So all players will be able to earn Pixel, not just landowners and VIP. We will probably give out more rewards to landowners and VIP. That's generally the plan. We want to have some incentive for free players that are in Pixel as well too. But the more Pixel that we give out to free players or people who haven't bought VIP or who don't own land, the higher of a chance that we give it out to bots too. So the rewards for free to play players who haven't purchased VIP or who haven't purchased land will probably not be the same, and they'll probably be harder to get if that makes sense. We want to reward real players for the token. That's the biggest priority over anything, and we want to make it make sense to basically get VIP too. So it'll be incentive to get VIP. It's basically kind of a way to give back to the community if you're taking some stuff out. So it's providing liquidity can also yield pixel plus in-game activity. Yeah, so and there's a few questions about berry liquidity rewards. There are some tech upgrades that we need to both get us and the Ronin team in order to actually even read some liquidity pools. I think they're pretty close. But again, like note that we released pixels on Ronin very quickly. There's still like a few gaps that we need to like kind of address. We got all the MVP stuff out. So now it's basically kind of working with that team to get out even more features around this. And in terms of like actual implementation for rewards in game for providing liquidity, if you guys have any ideas around that, please let us know. We like the idea of providing in-game rewards for this kind of stuff. There's some legal stuff that we need to also be very aware of when we deal with this kind of stuff too. So there's also caution on our end for reasons around this kind of stuff. But we like the idea of it. We just need to kind of figure out execution around this. Is there any limitations for pets per day? Example, only 5 pets per day can be given. I can't go into the exact details about how pets are generated. What I can say is like it's going to be roughly, it'll be 200 pets over 30 days, and we're pretty confident that the pets will be given out like relatively evenly over the days. There's not exact numbers on like, is it 5 pets per day? But yeah, they'll be spread out over the 30 days. People are upset about the whales. um, they were big. They were really big. Now they're laughably small. Maybe there's a middle ground there. Make whales great again. Zombina didn't even have a whale and she's sad. Okay, we hear the feedback. We'll think about it. By the way, what happened to Heidi? It's messy. Oof. No, I'm just kidding. She's just on vacation. Sometimes team members have to take some time off too. We just had a really big release, so yeah, it's just me today. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? What's the utility of cotton candy? It's another way to earn some tickets in the carnival. That's super fun. Can you confirm if landowners will have a pixel pool? So again, for rewards of the pixel token, when we start to distribute monthly rewards, we're going to set aside rewards for landowners. When it comes to airdrop, if that's what you're getting at. More details around stuff like that soon. Yeah, we're kind of just we're debating if we're going to do like a second wave of it. We want to hold true to the promises we made a year ago, and we said that would be they wouldn't have to do anything else to get those tokens. But yeah, what's also interesting is not everybody will claim those tokens. There's probably gonna be leftover tokens from the play the airdrop pools, especially if we have these vesting. We've also banned some users in the meantime since they've gotten the tokens. And when I say banned users, I'm not talking about like real users. Like for example, I know there's somebody who got banned from the Discord, but they'll still be able to claim tokens, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking more about like bots who might have gotten into the play the airdrop a year ago. We've banned some of them, so that also frees up some of the tokens as well for other things that we might want to do. So we'll keep it quiet, but we'll get more info on stuff like that. Yeah, vacations confirmed. What was there? What do you guys think of the Pixels employees? Do you think they don't ever get vacation or take any time off or any of that? Kind of true, but voluntary. Some feedback on Beat the Crowd. Great. Anything else, guys? Come on, ask some more questions. I think we'll wrap up the AMA in a few minutes. I think we got over most of the stuff I want to talk about. But yeah, key things here are we'll release another article on Berry versus Pixel and give some more clarity on like what all that looks like, because I know there's some new players and I just want to set expectations very clear around these tokens. Obviously, we love Berry. We try to balance it as best as we can, but yeah, we don't want to set false expectations around anything either. Two, Pixel, we're very excited about. It's the right time. We're moving on it. And then yeah, you'll start to see all those details over the next month or so. That is my full-time focus. Two, chapter 2 is in the works and in development. There might even be some features that are going to be part of chapter 2 that ship a bit earlier. And then yeah, have fun in the carnival, guys. This is going to go for the next 30 days. End date will be, what does that make it? I should know the end date, but I don't know it by heart. If we started it on 30th, yeah, then 30 days will be the 29th of November to the 30th of November. So we have about a month of this left, guys. Very excited. Klaus asked about DAU in Pixels. Yeah, so that's about to go on DApp Radar. We turned off our contracts on the Ronin, we turned off our contracts on Polygon, so we haven't been getting tracked on DApp Radar for the last month. We just let them run out of gas. We just started running them on Ronin. We just have to submit the new contracts to DApp Radar. They should go live ASAP, hopefully today. Some feedback on the pumpkin game. People are playing left right too much. Oh, here's a good suggestion. Make the whales smaller. I like that one. You're right. I feel like that's the right choice. I think the whales are too big right now, to be honest. Whales are way too big. I think the whales need to be smaller. Okay, and with that, it seems like questions are mostly dwindling down. Yeah, if you guys have any other stuff, let us know. For designers and developers who want to contribute to the Pixels world, is there any documentation for that? It's funny, most people who have been building tools for Pixels have been like doing things like scraping APIs. Like we haven't even really given any documentation, somewhat intentionally around it, because we want the ability to change some stuff early on. But one interesting thing coming soon will be realms, and that might be where some designers actually might be able to thrive. Obviously, there's also UGC. So if you guys want to submit your own pixel art that can actually be used and purchased in the game, you can do that as well. we're going to take that to the next level pretty soon. Okay. When permissioned avatars integration, I'd like to pay a pixel artist to have my lady in the game. Yeah, that's what we like about the we like the idea of going self-service for avatars in the future. Yeah, that's something that's interesting. Okay, and then when can we expect community-made mini games? So this will be released in stages. The first thing that Realms will do will just be virtual spaces. You won't be able to do much in the Realms at first. We kind of want to test to see how the Realms actually work and operate. We want to see if you guys can upload like more of your own assets. And then the next evolution of Realms would basically be able to allow you guys to add our scripting language into the game. So all the mini games that you see on our end, they're made with a scripting language, but they're made in like a way it's not no code, it's like a low code scripting language, and we're actually able to make changes to these mini games in production in real time. So it's not like writing actual code, uploading to GitHub. It's like in our engine, it works in our engine. It's really cool. So that's the one part of the implementation of Realms where the team is like trying to figure out the best way to make that happen. We want to make sure that we don't give you guys access to all the APIs that we have available. Like we can't let you generate Pixel. We can't let you generate Berry with the Realm scripts too. So we're trying to figure out permissioning around that and what we make available. There's a lot of possibilities there. We're really excited about that. And then, yeah, landowners will get first access to Realms. So that's going to be exciting too when those release. So, yeah, I think with that, that's about all the questions. Thanks so much, guys, for joining the AMA today. We do these every single week if you're new. And, yeah, we'll be back again next week, same time. All right. And with that, have a good day. We'll be back sometime soon.